Hello, and welcome back to yet another Website Depot podcast. As ever, I'm your host, Greg Benevent, and I'm lucky to once again be joined by Kat Lev. Kat, how you doing there today?
I'm doing well. Happy 2021.
I was just about to say that to you. This is the first time I've had Kat back on the on this and the new year. It's this is what happens even in a big company where everyone's working, and we do this all the time. It's we can't always get people, even the better of the guests, to come on all the time because we're just all that busy. I always say like, oh, we're lucky to have somebody, but I'm genuinely lucky to have Kat back with us today. And on that note, Kat's going to talk to us about something that, if you're like me, you've probably been hearing more and more about as time goes on. So if you could take it away there, Kat.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about how to incorporate your business into the TikTok world. This is kind of a new frontier for social media, to the point where there's new discoveries being made, there are new clients, there are potential businesses, there are people who are starting their careers on TikTok, or
Oh,
people
yeah.
who are having their careers, get noticed and blown up. So
Mhm.
it's really, if you're not on the app now, it's best to just start, because what's cool about TikTok is that it's not like Vine, in the sense of, although it's a social media short snippet video app, the way that this app is designed is purposely to make everyone blow up. It is made
Mm.
for your videos to go viral because it is so calculated with the For You page of
Oh.
so that's why you, side note, that's why you get a lot of people being a little bit iffy about it, because it tracks your data. But what doesn't?
Oh.
If you are going to be on social media, you've already, you've already made that acknowledgement, because you once you
Yes.
get on the internet, that's what the internet is now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not
It
the
wasn't much
90s.
before, but it definitely is
The
now.
internet is commercialized now. So it's just, if you're not in live in the woods, if it's not, but TikTok is so TikTok is probably a more, they're not really hiding the fact that they have that, because
Mhm.
their whole system is based off of you. You have, instead
Mm.
of a news feed of people, you have a news feed of people you follow, like Instagram and Twitter, but you have a For You page where it's specific to the interest that you have. So it's very specific. So that's why the videos that you create should be as niche as possible to you, because then you're going to
Oh.
find more people like you. So if you're a baker, you make your baking videos about, your favorite fondant flavors and your favorite fondant recipes. You're going to find millions of other bakers who also have different recipes or different styles, and that's how you meet, and that's how you find other people, and other people find you. It's
Oh.
and that's what makes this different than Vine, is that it is specifically programmed so that everyone gets a chance to shine. Everyone gets they reward you with more uploads to push you on more For You pages. And when someone interacts with your video, it goes into other people's For You pages as well. So there's really, it's such a interesting app, because it really is just almost a constant reward for being active. And that's also why it could be a little addicting, is because you also are losing track of time. And there are, positives and negatives to every app, but I would say that TikTok is the place to build your business.
Yeah. Wow. Hearing you say all that, Kat, is it's. I mean, obviously, you provide information and teach me things I didn't know. But hearing you say that was great, because it felt like it was solving a mystery I'd been sitting with as to why. I mean, seriously, people that like I have friends that talk about, like, I go on Twitter, I posted there for years, no one's ever seen anything. I go on TikTok, I have millions of views, and and I'm sitting there, listening to this person talk, and it's breaking my brain. But just so I'm clear on what you said, because there was something you went past it quickly, and I just want to be clear on this for myself as much as people listening. You said the more uploads you make, the more likely you are to show up on these other For You pages. Did I hear that right, or
Yes.
what?
So that's why
Oh,
the people that you know down the street can sometimes wind up with 1 million subscribers and 1 million followers, is because they're really active on the app, and they are making other people, they're coming on to other people's For You pages, and what they are uploading is interesting and people want to keep seeing it. But that's why
yeah,
it's so easy to build that. But that's why when you go and you look at their other platforms, it's not the same ratio, just because of the
right.
app is the way the rules in TikTok is almost like its own frontier, and everything else
Clearly,
is follows like, a more similar algorithm, shadow ban type of like,
pay to
system.
play.
But with TikTok, it really is made so that you can blow up. It's made for
Wow.
everyone to feel like a star, and so
Yeah,
that's why it's a very popular app.
clearly. Huh. It's if I'm moving a little slow, it's because I'm genuinely stunned. That is okay. That makes so much sense. But that also, and maybe this is myself putting something onto it, but how do I want to word this? Just based on what you said, is that okay? I hear you say this, and particularly when you use the symbol of the frontier, it implies, if not a deadline and a ticking clock, then at least the idea that it won't stay this way forever. As in, maybe, this everyone gets to be a star and gets to be in the spotlight for a period of time thing, that could be finite, or that could be lessened when more and more and more people and companies come on to the app. Or or is that in my head?
Yeah, I mean, because the app is because the app was always very popular. It was
Mhm.
an old app before called Musically, and
Yeah.
it had only one aspect really that TikTok still has, which is you can take sounds and lip sync to it or mouth it or take dialogue from other television shows. A really viral one was the "No, no, no" office scene, and people would, take that Steve Carell moment and play
Mhm.
in the office. That was something that was viral on the internet. But that was so Musically was before TikTok. Then TikTok developed, and it became a little bit longer. It wasn't just 15 seconds. It adapted to 60 seconds, started having effects and filters, and just of a more community based app. And
Mhm.
the reason why I think it's more of, it's I don't think this app is going to stay this popular forever. I
Okay.
think what I'm predicting with this app is we are currently in the place where it's the most popular. Musicians are getting record labels. Record labels aren't taking people now. They are looking at who's popular in TikTok.
Mhm.
When, just like YouTube, when that gets oversaturated, everyone's going to get bored and there's going to be something else. So right now,
Right.
this is the place to go. It's not the
Mhm.
place to stay forever, but that's why if you haven't hopped on it yet and you are with a business, this is the time to do it now and not 6 months from now and not a year from now, because part of why it's so popular is because we're all home. It
Right.
really didn't blow up until March because everyone started downloading TikTok and realizing this is this is a place that spreads fast. This is a
Hmm.
place that spreads information. And if you have a great story, if you have a great meme, if you have a great moment of your company and your response to a sound that's coming out, and you're able to, think on your feet of, oh, this sound is popular right now, this sound bite. What can we do to relate our company to the sound bite? How can we put that in 15 seconds? And you'd be surprised of how how quickly you'll get an audience. It could be as, and the reason why I'm being vague is because it's that interesting,
Explosive.
where you're allowed to be fake. Like, it goes from personal accounts, and it goes from small businesses like jewelry making, or bakeries, or even just as little as sending out bundles each month of stickers. It could be as
Oh.
small of a business and as large
Mhm.
of a business as a coffee shop down the street,
Oh.
or your a skincare company.
Uh-huh.
There's so many different types of ways that you can market yourself on TikTok that works within the algorithm that is interesting. It's by
Wow.
following the sounds that are trending.
Okay.
If you have human representatives partaking in the dances that are popular, that's always fun. If I'm not saying I've seen this, but if there's a big viral dance coming out if you had a pizza company that was pretty well known, that would be
Mhm.
pretty cool to see that pizza company doing the dance on TikTok. You had a moment of skateboard guy drinking cranberry juice on a skateboard, listening to Dreams, Fleetwood Mac. Other
Oh,
companies took that and made it, their own version of it. Or other people actually had the skateboard guy have his own sandwich at their shop. So
wow.
there's so many ways that you can incorporate your business in TikTok and vice versa.
Wow, and that's fascinating, and just to hear you mention it, it's to mention Fleetwood Mac, obviously a legendary band that's going to be around forever, but also not something that like the hip kids are necessarily listening to today. And I think that speaks to a misconception I know I've certainly had about TikTok in the past, and I've talked to Noel about this a bit, but it's well maybe hey it's mostly youth driven, it's really not just that way anymore, is it? There's other people much older than just teenagers on the app now.
That is true, but it is still youth driven.
Mm,
It's the way that what is cool about that though is
mhm.
this generation wants to learn and wants to be, they're it's kind of like who they want to be the most woke, the most well rounded. So if
Mhm.
you throw a Fleetwood Mac song their way and it goes viral, they're gonna take that and they're gonna run with it.
Right, Fleetwood
So
Mac's not getting, yeah, the music's not getting any worse, decades and decades later. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's also like a good blend of generations, because then you have the more people you
Mm,
have on this app, you can incorporate things. It's but part of that humor is what TikTok's about, or part of that just everyday life humor, because it's not necessarily funny. But let's have an example of,
mhm.
this generation has just discovered yoga pants. They call them
Mm,
flared leggings. Say I was a
okay.
small business owner and I sold yoga pants. This would
Uh-huh.
be the time to get on TikTok and to start talking
Right.
about my yoga pants and being like, here are my flared leggings. Like there's a way to, what it does is it's just another place to market. It's another place to just, think creatively of how can I make this viral information work for me?
Mm. It Yeah, and I that makes a lot of sense. And just in terms of hearing you say, because I did a double take at first. I was like, what generation had just discovered yoga pants, as if this was some like lost knowledge that had been disappeared within the ether. But then I realized, as you were saying that, it sounds like that from a business perspective, there are potential customers of a business that may be on TikTok that maybe you can't reach through to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything else. Is that right?
Hmm. Just kind of like the things that happen on TikTok, they get blown up so fast that it's almost like if you're not on it and you're not having someone take a look at what's happening, you're actually going to miss a whole part of pop culture, because
Mm,
it's that much of, it's almost like you get instant, because of how fast and viral it is, you get almost an
mhm,
instant um, insight on what is popular and what is liked. So how are you
mm,
going to sell your merchandise in your business if you don't know what's popular and you don't know what's liked? You have,
right.
you have Dunkin' Donuts just releasing avocado toast. You've got Starbucks now doing oat milk lattes. These are things that have been a slow um, these are things that have been a slow rise. But with TikTok,
Mm,
you've got things that are happening right away, like
yeah.
with the example of the skateboarder. Cranberry juice was sold out for weeks after, because everyone
Wow.
wanted to recreate the cranberry juice TikTok. So
Huh.
then you've got people who are selling cranberry juice, or you've got juice
Mm,
companies that are, you've got an opportunity here. And I wouldn't
wow.
be surprised if, like, next Super Bowl, you've got the, what is that cranberry, whatever. You've got to, I wouldn't be surprised if they recruit the cranberry guy for a
Oh
big
yeah.
Super Bowl
Oh yeah.
commercial.
Geez.
You,
Right.
it's a place to get instant knowledge of what is popular right now, what should be on the lookout, because what happens on TikTok really happens with the culture. There was a trend where feta pasta is very popular, and you have to make your
Hmm.
own feta sauce.
Oh,
Supermarkets were out of stock for feta cheese.
wow.
That is the impact that this app has. So anyone who kind of looks down on it, I think should reconsider of what this means for our pop culture and what this means for our knowledge. It's almost like, it's almost like flipping through a technology magazine, because you've got so many
Hmm.
opportunities to market not only yourself but your company, and you're taking a look at what's popular, like the way that and it's the most accurate too, because it is directed towards you who's on the app, so it's things that are relevant to you and the things that you're interested in. Whereas Instagram has now become, and they've kind of, acknowledge this, which is why they've updated the app. But Instagram has now become where you sell the business, where you sell the merchandise. TikTok
Right.
now is kind of where you show personality, or you
Yeah.
show the heart behind your product. So if you were a face mask company, Instagram's where you sell it, but on TikTok, that's where you put the mask on and laugh because you look like, Mike Myers, or
Right.
Michael Myers. Sorry, I get those
Yeah. No, no,
always
no, no. Well, Mike
confused, and
Myers wore a
it
lot of
hurts.
masks too. It also works. Yeah.
I,
Um,
I always have to like think in my brain. I'm like, that's not the comedian. Okay, that's
right. Right. It's not.
that's the
Yeah.
horror
I mean,
movie.
the Love Guru was bad, but it didn't stab anybody. No,
Exactly,
that's a good point.
exactly. So that's why I think that's really worth to get your business on TikTok, is because no, especially with the way that the algorithm has now just completely shattered on Instagram. Because on TikTok you can't really buy your way to get viral.
Ah,
But you
okay.
can
Uh,
buy your way to
I was
get.
going to ask that eventually. I was going to get there about the paid marketing. Wow. Okay.
So
Boy,
it,
that's
yeah.
clarifying.
What?
No, that's clarifying. I mean, it's what I was. I mean, I was just, I was just sitting here. You say that, and I was thinking, I was really struck by when you said, that this is where you find out, what is TikTok is where you find out what is popular now, what is. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, geez, isn't that, don't you still find that through Facebook? Don't you still find that through Instagram? And then it hit me immediately, which you said a few minutes back about how, the concern that in the future TikTok becomes inundated. Well, that's where Facebook and Instagram are now. They are so, it's just to hear what you say, right? I mean, they're so populated and so big that they don't have that, I don't know, that space, that elevator, that whatever it is, to be able to show off what's really big and popular as TikTok, from what you're saying, can.
Yeah, and I think the reason behind that is because you're basing it off of a shared, like a shared kind of, that's why you have the popular sounds. You have a shared element, a shared theme, and then you can take that in your own way. Or it's also just showcasing your personality and showing who you are. And I think that's also why Twitter's been rising, is because on Instagram, it's become this kind of airbrushed, very specific, but also mostly marketed
Mm,
place. Whereas on Twitter, that's where you can, be the cheese box company that gets to be sassy in response to people, and then you get to go,
right,
wow, I really like this company because they have they have a personality, where you don't really get
right.
that on Instagram, because the way that app is now made is purely just commercial and shopping.
I see. It's
So
yeah,
yeah, so
it's
I wouldn't be
soft.
surprised if TikTok starts to go that way with all the people on there. But for right now, this
Right,
is a
but
really
not
good
today and not
opportunity.
tomorrow.
But not today. So if
Yeah.
this isn't as, if this hasn't convinced you to check it out, then I would wait for the next big wave, because
Right. Yeah. Come back in 8 months and we're talking about Clubhouse or something. Right. And, but yeah, I got to be honest. I always learn something every time I talk to you, Kat. But after this, I definitely can see the next week or two getting a personal TikTok page. I've been, debating it, but just for myself. But whether intentionally or not, you absolutely sold me. I mean, I think like a lot of us, somebody that like, comes back and is like, hey, I got 2 million views on TikTok. And I'm thinking like, we were just eating sandwiches. Where did you come from? How, and then and I think that's just it. It sounds like it's, if not a true open market, then at least perhaps one with that, like you're saying right now, has more potential than maybe the others. I mean, it's funny, just we were talking, the first, I immediately thought of this. I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. It's very much like the gold rush.
Mm,
There's gold
yeah,
in TikTok now. Who's to say those mines are going to have as much gold come, October? By then we'll have found, the new mines in the next thing.
yeah. That's a really good example because that's exactly it.
And you don't want to be the last person taking your entire family out west to the tapped mine, to,
Mhm.
the person buying someone else's equipment and digging, sifting for rocks. Well, that was really, really educational, Kat. Is there anything else you'd want to add? I don't know what there could be. That was tremendous.
I think, that's about the 101 for today.
That's a lot of understatement for you to say that's 101, but that's very kind. That was at least that was
101
at
and
least
and
extra
and
elective,
102.
some staying afterwards kind of stuff. That was great. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Kat. That was just great. We can't wait to see you again on this thing. And yeah, on behalf of Website Depot and myself, Greg Benevent, soon to be new TikTok user, take it easy and have a good night.